Hi, everyone, and welcome to SmartBear Talks. This is a series of interviews where we speak with QA experts about quality assurance trends and so much more. And today we have a very special guest, Prashant Mohan. He is the TestComplete product owner. Over the course of this interview, we will talk a bit about Prashant's day to day work at SmartBear. And Prashant will give us a sneak peek of things to come for TestComplete in the foreseeable future. So stay tuned for that. Without further ado, hi Prashant, how are you?
Hi, Sonia. I'm very well. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be a part of this.
We're really happy to have you on this interview. And I really gave you a very brief introduction. So could you talk about more about yourself and what you do at Smart Bear?
Sure, absolutely. So I am now the director of product for our UI test automation tools, primarily focused on Test Complete at SmartBear. Um, so on a day-to-day basis, essentially, one of the key things that I do is try to set the vision and strategy for the overall UI automation tools. Uh, understand where the market is going, what our customers are doing, and try to align our roadmap at a high level to those needs and wants from a customer point of view. Uh, on a day-to-day basis, I also work with the engineering team a lot. I think one of the most important relationships in a successful product team is that of a product manager and the development leads. So I work
Mhm.
with them every day, try to align all our different high-level strategic initiatives to smaller features and capabilities. And then apart from that, I also work very closely with my sales and marketing team
Mhm.
to basically translate everything that we've built into stories and into uh, impactful solutions that then can resonate with the customers themselves. uh, and finally, I think one of the most important things and the thing that I enjoy the most of my role is to talk to end users about what
Mhm.
they're doing, how they're using the tools, how their ecosystem looks like, how their environments looks like, and uh, and then try to fuel our roadmap and fuel our future based on what users are saying.
Thank you for your reply. And could you tell us how you actually became part of Smart Bear? What's your background?
Yeah, absolutely. I am an engineer by training. Uh,
I
so,
see.
so after I graduated from electronics and communication engineering, I was sort of like unsure exactly what path to take. But I did end up as a QA engineer, in fact, at a financial services company. So I was testing some of the core financial application frameworks at Fidelity Investments, and so I got a real taste and flavor of QA. So I used to do both manual testing and automated testing. So I used some of these tools that I'm actually getting a chance to build now as I was
Mhm.
working in my first job. Uh, and then after that I worked for about 4 years or so, and then I got my business degree. I came to Boston, um, and then I stumbled upon a job at SmartBear, and what better place in terms of building automation tools and solutions than SmartBear. So I find myself very fortunate to be building tools that I was an end user of previously in my previous
Mhm.
role. And so that's how I got into the product team. So product management itself really interests me. It's a nice intersection between uh, technical side, the engineering side, and the
Mhm.
business side. And then I feel that I fit in nicely at the center. They're trying to comprehend all the different types of information that I get, and then translate that into a solution that works for the end users.
Mhm. Yes, you do sound like the perfect candidate with to this position with your background. So, as you said that you're fortunate that you work at SmartBear, I'm sure that SmartBear is just as fortunate to have you. Um, and going back to your day-to-day work, what would you say are the most beneficial parts of it?
I think the most rewarding part that I see is when I do speak to end users,
Mm-hmm.
because I realize that a lot of our users, uh, depend on test complete and our tooling for their day to day. So they spend almost their entire day on our application. So when I do
True.
speak with them and and deep dive into what they're doing and how they feel and what problems they're solving, I think just like everyone has their own unique situation,
Mm-hmm.
and the unique thing that they're working towards, and it's just fascinating to me how many different types of use cases and different types of just environments and ecosystems that people are involved in, and then I try to collate all this information um, into a central place where then I can then actually act upon it and
Mm-hmm.
perform, um, uh, like communicate that information to my team so that we can actually do something about it. And I think just talking to the end users on a regular basis, I think is definitely the most rewarding part of my job and my day.
Okay, thank you. And talking about some trends, like online education is really trending now, and self-education, like of any type. And how do you prefer to self-educate?
Right. Yeah. So that's an interesting question, right? So now, over the past year, things have changed so much. Now, I used to be a big advocate of going to school because I did go to business school myself, and I did the
Hmm.
whole 2 year program. But now things are all moving online. So I have started reading more. So one of the benefits of this whole COVID situation, if there's anything, the one thing that I did start doing more often is to read.
Hmm.
uh, there's uh, there's two books that I'm reading currently. One is a product management focused book called Inspired by Marty Kagan.
Hmm.
Definitely recommend that for aspiring product managers or anyone who's been doing this for a while as well. Lots of tips and tricks that we can use in our day to day. And then there's another book that I'm reading called The Lean Startup. Also very very common in our space. As entrepreneurs are trying to build products and MVPs.
Hmm.
It's a real good book, and it aligns so much with what we do as a product manager day to day as well. I am reading those two books. I also definitely recommend doing courses, online courses once in a while, like every 6 months to a year. Maybe upskill something that you're either interested in from a hobby perspective or from your job perspective. Udemy, Coursera are really good online sources. So I actually did an online course on image recognition and image comparison using OpenCV a few months ago. I am planning to, hopefully, as we evolve Test Complete to the next level, use some of the core image techniques in our platform
Hmm.
to help our end users just do their job easily. So I try to keep myself busy through reading, through online courses. Also follow a couple of product management blogs. So that's how I keep myself abreast of what's happening out there.
Yep. Thank you for the reply and for the recommendations. I think we will link them under the video so people can find these books on Amazon or whatever,
Definitely.
because this is really that will be really helpful. What can people expect to see in Task Complete for the foreseeable future?
All right, let's see. So UI automation has just like changed so much, and it is changing every day. Not just UI automation. If you were to take a step back, just software development itself has evolved. We are releasing faster. our
Mm-hmm.
end users are just expecting so much, like everything to work perfectly out of the box. And so the way that we do develop software also is changing. And and everything depends, or a lot of it depends on how quickly we're able to automate the testing process, because
Mm-hmm.
more often than not, as I speak to a lot of customers, yeah, and including our own organization itself, right, including our team itself, we see that testing a lot of times is the bottleneck. So the more
Mm-hmm.
we're able to automate that process, the better. uh, so there's a lot of trends going on, but if I were to pick, a couple of trends that I see, going to the next level in the next year or so, is just the ability to automatically prioritize your testing. uh,
Mm-hmm.
we usually think that automating everything is just the way to go, but we do find that at scale it becomes unmanageable, and maintenance time is just too much, and then you start to question the ROI of automation itself. So if there was tooling, and if there's things that can help you prioritize what to test and when to test automatically, I think that's like a big problem that is being solved in our industry. So definitely going to see more of this. uh, and also, from a second trend that I see is just the rise of the developer in terms of testing and
Mm-hmm.
automation. And by developer, there's two kinds of developers that I see, broadly speaking. One is the developer that we know, that writes code, that programs and is
Mm-hmm.
able to generate software that is then used by customers. And then we also have, on the other side of the spectrum, the citizen developer. So they're more domain experts, and you find them more common in an enterprise capacity. So
Mm-hmm.
someone who is an SAP domain expert, or a Salesforce domain expert.
Mm-hmm.
And so you realize that they also need to be testing, and also need to be automating as upgrades happen very quickly. And they of course have a different skill set, right? So they are not programmers, but they are uh, experts in their specific domain, and so they
Mm-hmm.
also need to be able to automate. And so we see that these two sets of developers are on the rise, and a tool that can support both these user personas, I think, will be the tool that enterprise start to adopt in the
Mm-hmm.
future. And so these are two big major areas of development I see, amongst so many other trends that is happening in this market. And so from a test complete perspective, we are trying to align ourselves to these two trends. The first thing that we're doing is just making our tool as easy to use as possible, no
Mm-hmm.
matter who you are. um, if you are someone who's just starting with automation, recording and playing back, and easily able to create automated tests in a non-coded fashion. I think we spend so much time on just making that part of our tooling just very intuitive, very easy to use. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely expect to see more of this happening in 2021 and the following years. uh, and with the focus on web and mobile technologies, right? It is clear that is the way that applications are now being built. And so if you are building web or mobile applications, then you need to be able to test them on different device configurations, different browser configurations, different resolutions. And so integration with device clouds is very important. And so you'll see a lot of that happening in test complete, where you create one simple script, one simple test using a recorder, or if you're comfortable scripting, you can script it. And then in
Mm-hmm.
a push of a button, you can suddenly scale them to our device farm that we offer on demand. So keep a lookout for that. A lot of enhancements coming in that area. Uh, and then lastly, I also want to say that no trend in automation is complete without bringing up the topic of AI and machine learning.
Yeah.
So so a lot of that is also being done in the background. We try not to put that in the front and center because it's really AI and ML is a solution to a bigger problem.
Hmm.
We are working on a couple of interesting things in the background to help improve the way that you author your test cases and the way that you execute them, and
Hmm.
and, and hopefully you should see this being useful in your day to day as well. So I'm excited, as you see these features come in, for any feedback that you may have.
Thank you. Wow, a lot of things to expect from Test Complete, and this is great that Test Complete really does cover all the trends, and I think it's going to be a great year for this tool. Um, and Do you have any special message for the Test Complete community? If you do, this is your time to shine.
Yeah, absolutely. Test Complete as a product wouldn't be where it is without the community support, without our wonderful end users, using our tool on a daily basis and giving us feedback, asking us for specific features and capabilities. Nothing would be complete uh, without the influence of our users. So I would encourage you to continue keeping our community as vibrant as you are already, and the product team for Test Complete is not far away. At any time you can reach out, and we'll directly get in touch, and perhaps set up a call or set up a meeting or something, so that we can further understand what you're doing, and how we can improve our product. So once again, thank you so much for being such a great community, and please continue that, and we wouldn't exist without you.
Thank you. These are really nice words. And I also really like how you mentioned that the community is vibrant. This is a perfect word, I think, to describe it. And thanks. On the behalf of all the Test Complete community members, I say thank you. And it was
Absolutely.
a really nice message. And I think that everyone's going to love it. And I think that our interview is coming to an end. Thank you so much. We're really happy to have you here. And thanks for all the information. It was very helpful. And I think that a lot of people will find it extremely interesting. Thank you so much, Prashant. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me, Sonia.
Bye.
Bye bye.